I mean, the fear is huge because as a parent, this is something that you can't protect them from. And especially when you get to a point that there are no proven treatments, you're having to make decisions for your child, for their life. And it's like, if you make the wrong decision, then what?
Sometimes people see childhood cancer as something that's rare, but for the families affected by it, it's not. It's something that hits very close to home. It's something that you're going to be dealing with for a lifetime. It's not just from diagnosis to the end of treatment. It's something that is going to be there till the very last day.
My son Thomas was just an amazing, loving, kind, active, curious ray of light. He was just love. Thomas was initially misdiagnosed. Then came the words no one wants to hear. Your 8-year-old child has cancer, a brain tumor called anaplastic ependymoma. In the end, Thomas ended up passing away at 12 years old on July 7, 2016. He was so resilient, and he was, most of the time, had a smile on his face, did not complain and ask, why me? He just did what he had to do, said, what's next? What's next? And in the end, when he asked me that, there was nothing else. After Thomas passed away, we knew we had to do something. And so we sat with it for a while and really wanted the foundation to reflect who Thomas was. And then we also took into consideration what we went through as a family, what Thomas went through, what made an impact for us. And so we decided to found the Thomas Scully Foundation in memory of our son Thomas. And the mission of the foundation is to provide a little bit of happiness to children with cancer today while supporting a cure for tomorrow. The way that we provide a little bit of happiness is through care packages that go to children in the hospital. As a parent, it was like everything around you just stopped. All the hustle and bustle, all the noise, it just stopped, and all you see is the smile on your child's face in all of this craziness. It literally is priceless. And even if it's just for that moment, those are the memories that I have embedded in my head. And then the second part of our mission is to support a cure for tomorrow. And we've chosen to support a cure for tomorrow by supporting families who are seeking innovative treatment for their child. That's the impact that we can make right now, that we can help families who were in a similar situation to us, who have exhausted their local fundraising options, who are now years and years into financial ruins, loss of income, houses being foreclosed, or who may want to do special things with their child because they don't know how much time they have. Whatever it is, they need help. The Go Gold campaign is an awareness campaign for childhood cancer. This is our color. Our color is gold because children are gold. With all nonprofits and all foundations who are trying to raise awareness to get people talking about children getting cancer, because it happens more often than people realize. Once you know, you can't unknow. And once you know, you spread that awareness. And the more awareness that we have, the more research there'll be, the more change we can make, the more help families can get and children can get that are suffering, that are going through things that nobody should have to go through, let alone a child.
My name is Amy Beach, and I'm a resident of Smithtown all my life. I grew up in Kings Park, and we've lived in St. James for almost 15 years now, and I have a child battling cancer. My son Dylan is just 14 years old, and he was diagnosed with anaplastic ependymoma, which is a rare form of brain cancer, when he was just over 2 years old in December of 2008. And when it comes to a diagnosis like that, it's never anything you're expecting. Dylan was not feeling well for a couple weeks leading up to that. There was never anything that was panicking us, very non-specific symptoms, until one day he woke up from a nap, was a little unsteady walking. That was a little concerning, that he was unsteady walking, and we ended up in a matter of 48 hours going from the pediatrician to the neurologist to the emergency room to the operating room. And it was just a whirlwind. At that time, Dylan had surgery, ended up enduring over 6 months of intensive chemotherapy, a stem cell rescue. He was in isolation for several months after that. And those sorts of things are hard enough on families in general and parents, but on a child that doesn't understand that, it can be very disorienting, and they don't understand why. Through the years, he's had multiple recurrences. Cancer doesn't just end with the diagnosis, right, and the treatment. There's constant follow-up. He's had countless MRIs, CAT scans, pinches, pokes, prods. He's had his skull reconstructed. He's had 7 brain surgeries in all. And when you think about that in the grand scheme, it's enormous. And it's enormous for a child, and it's enormous for a family. I think very often when awareness things come across, it's like, people want to help, they don't necessarily know what to do, and you just end up with messages and thoughts and prayers and hopes. Those are all great and wonderful and appreciated, but there comes a point where there needs to be more. The support needs to be specific. My son was coming up just earlier this year on 5 years from his last surgery and recurrence. 5 years is like a magic number in statistics world to say, at 5 years people are considered cancer-free, considered cured. And that's really not the case. And we found that out directly, the hard way. A tumor that can come back after all different types of treatment, radiation, surgical removal, can sit dormant for 5 years and then all of a sudden start growing again for no apparent reason. So I don't think the worry ever goes away. It gets better the more time that passes. You breathe a little easier. You get a little more confident. That's the tough part about this, because these kids spend more time worrying sometimes than just living, and it's our job as parents to try to balance that and not let them feel our worry, yet also make them understand what they're facing and preparing them for that. Dylan's silly. He's always been. Always a big smile, and he's like, I'm gonna get emotional about it. He's just, a friend to everybody. He's the perfect teammate. He's not the best athlete on the bench, but he's gonna cheer the loudest. He's a big brother, and he bothers his sister. And he supports her too. He loves his family, he loves the beach. Happens to be our last name, but he loves the beach. He loves to ride his bike, he loves to be active. You know, when you have to have brain surgery over a summer, you can't go in the water and you can't ride your bike and can't skate for 6 weeks, and those sorts of things are hard. We all love our kids and they're all special to us. But for him, it's that friend and teammate that he is to others, when really they should be cheering for him.
The Smithtown Children's Foundation was formed in 2008. Initially, I had no intention of running a foundation. We were helping a local family whose 5-year-old daughter was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma. And in running a fundraiser for them, I found 2 like-minded ladies in the community who were also running a fundraiser for them. And we helped each other run them. And post the events, we were finishing each other's sentences and said, we have something here, let's start a non-for-profit. The Smithtown Children's Foundation hosts a number of signature events during the year where we put money in the kitty so that we have resources available for local families in crisis. And when I say crisis, I mean a child is sick, a parent is sick, no one is sick, they're just struggling financially. We're just here to be a resource, as we were for the first family that we helped, providing not only financial support but emotional support as well. And that's basically our mission statement. The funds that we raise are used to help local families, and we do anything from paying medical bills, utilities, mortgage, rent. We actually bought a car for a young girl who became an emancipated minor. We paid for her driving lessons and then helped her get a used car. She says we gave her the keys to her future, which I love repeating that. The other leg of what we do is we work with our school district social workers, because they've already vetted who our most needy families are. And we do everything from help them with emergency gift cards, groceries, bills for them as well. And then the third part of what we do is we have scholarships in the school district, and most of them are in memory of loved ones lost. In order to help the Smithtown Children's Foundation be a resource, we need the funds, we need the resource. With COVID, we canceled all 4 of our major fundraisers this year. So we too are struggling like everybody else in the midst of COVID. Kids, groups can do drives for gift cards, for school supplies. People can adopt families at the holidays. Businesses can sponsor us. Businesses can provide gift cards that we can put in our raffle baskets that help us raise the money to have at the ready. So there's so many ways to get involved. And what I love about what we do is that the community does get involved. Everything that people are giving to us to give to local families in crisis, we're putting that right back into the community. We like to let people know, do you know there's a family in Smithtown whose son is dealing with this or whose daughter is dealing with this? You know, help us help them. Help your community.
Kids get cancer too. They do. It's not their fault. It's no one's fault. It's nothing anybody did. And that's sometimes a hard thing for grown-ups to wrap their head around with kids, so that they avoid the situation, they avoid the topic. Talk with your children about it. There are a lot of scary things out there in this world, and cancer is one of them. For kids to be able to be understanding and inclusive with other kids, that's where the greatest power is, that they can be friends with people different than them. They can encourage others, that they can become young advocates and spread awareness, and not be afraid of something like that too, and not shy away from it. I've often said that some of the bravest parents out there are not parents with the kids with cancer, but the parents who let their children be friends with the kids with cancer, knowing what the outcome might be, knowing that the outcome may not be ideal, that, you know, that it could be tragic. But allowing your children to love their friends wholly and fully and be present, be there for them, not just dropping off cookies and sending a card, but being present in their lives. Don't disappear. Be there for them and be there for them till the end.
Hearing your child has cancer is devastating. And it's scary because as a parent, you're supposed to protect your child. You're supposed to take care of them. And if they need treatments, you get them treatments. You take care of it. You get them better. This is not something that you can protect your child from. Children are suffering. They're going through what nobody should go through, let alone a child. Families need help. They need help emotionally. They need help financially. Their kids need companions. They're still kids, and they still want to be kids, but are often isolated and lonely. Everybody is affected by a childhood cancer diagnosis. That family will never be the same.